As you guys can see up on the screen today, I wanted to talk a little bit about Progenity Incorporated. This is Prog stock once again, and it's back. To some extent, this stock has come back to life. The last couple of weeks, the last month or so, has really not been that great to Prog stock, to Prog investors, especially depending on when you got in. You can see right here, the 52-week high is $7.86 right now, even after a 15% jump in the share price today. We are still way off those 52-week highs, but the market in general has been trending downward a little bit recently. There has been much more negative sentiment in the market, whether it's because of, fears of rising inflation rates, whether it's because of the Omicron variant, whether it's because of tax loss harvesting, whether it's because of bubble talk or whatever. A lot of the stock market has not been doing well. So on one hand, it's concerning, when you look at Progenity stock, when you see, down 13% in the last 5 days, when you see down 23% in the past month, when you see down 60%, 70% from all-time highs, and this is all after the stock is up 15% in a single day today. What was it, last week at the end? This was kind of interesting because this thing actually opened lower. We had a close of 236 on Friday, and this thing opened at 225, but as the market kind of picked up, Prog definitely got going, and this thing is up, obviously, as I said, around 15%. We're still intraday, so the price is going to be updating during this video, but even from open, we're up close to 20%. So this is still a very good day for a lot of Prog investors. I know I talked about last week how Prog was losing steam in a lot of ways. There was kind of a point in time where people were really excited about Prog. They were bringing out some new news. It seemed like the business was improving, and there was still always that short squeeze play. This is why Twitter, Reddit, the short squeeze subreddit really picked up Prog in the first place. That's how we got some of this action from, we were under $1. We were 60 cents back here. And this is how we got these, 400, 500% gains in the course of a couple of months, because there was all these positive factors and positive catalysts at play for Prog. And in a lot of ways, people were right. People had a thesis. People had ideas. People, thought what they thought, and it worked out. The play kind of transpired in a lot of ways. Again, saying that Prog has been a failure or anything like that, when you can see 600% gains in the matter of 5 or 6 months, it's absolutely true. But now the question is the Prog play over? Is the Prog play dead? Was 786, the high that we're going to see in the near future? When is it going to get back to that level? Is it ever going to get back to that level? Is it going to take 2, 3, 4, 5 years? Is it going to take 2, 3, 4, 5 months? Is it going to take 2, 3, 4, 5 days? I don't know, and no one knows, but that is the decision that investors and people who are interested in trading the stock are having to make right now, because, there's people who bought in here, and, they're down 45% right now. There's, again, it really does depend when you have bought, if you were buying the dip, if you, sold high, if you now have money to rebuy low, because I know that there's people that, sold up around the $6, $7 price level, and then they started buying the dip at $5, $4, $3, and they're even, down. They felt like they were getting great prices. But you see, stuff was very positive for Prog for a long time. A ton of people were making a ton of money. This thing was jumping quick. And then things got real negative real fast. People started losing money. Prog started going down. The sentiment around the stock really turned negative, and you can see that, towards the tail end here. Really, since November 19th on, this has only been 3 weeks at this point. You can see a clear decline in this graph. We see this right around $5 mark, and we kind of go down. We can see in the past month we're down almost 25%. That can be really scary for people, and that can piss people off because there's other stocks in the market that have been going up. There's been other short squeeze plays. There's been Trump stocks. There's just been stocks in general, the overall, the S&P or big tech. There's a lot of companies that have actually been making people money. So to sit there in a stock like Prog when you're losing money can be very frustrating. It can upset people, and it can really put off people from Prog stock in general. Some people that bought it $5 or $6, they ended up selling it $3 or whatever. They might not be coming back. They might not be, coming back to the whole Prog play, which again is really going to hurt plays like this in the long run, because a play like Prog really needs a lot of positive community sentiment. This thing is shorted. This thing, hedge funds, the big people at play don't want to see Prog succeed. They need to get a lot of social media, a lot of retail traders, a big, strong community back behind this thing. They need people consistently buying in, buying the dips, putting their money where their mouth is if you want to see it go up. So the more people that get burned by Prog, the more people who kind of give up on this in the communities, that's definitely not going to be as good for Prog in the meantime. But then we also went through this, time span of probably I would say a week or maybe a couple of days where no one was really talking about Prog at all. It went from very positive sentiment to very negative sentiment to really no news that we were hearing about Prog because people were just kind of over it. People moved on to the next play, whether it was DWAC or CFVI or PPSI or, LGVN. I know there's all these different plays on the short squeeze and all over social media. But now, when you go to the short squeeze subreddit, there's actually some posts about Prog again. There is some posts on the front page. We have Prog up over 10%. We got some rocket emojis. When you start seeing the rocket emojis, that's when you know things are going good. This guy posted holding Prog shorts jump back in together strong. Because, obviously, we also know that as we saw this stock continue to go down, over the past week, over the past month, that those shorts are getting excited. Those shorts are getting happy. They're hoping that the Prog mania is done. They're probably, doubling down on a lot of their positions, trying to push Prog into the ground, trying to make all that money that they can, off a company like this failing. And then this guy, he said Prog is dead. They said plus 13% today and just a start. And I did make the video talking about how I thought Prog was dead and how a lot of people thought Prog was dead, and it still could be. One little jump in a day does not mean that it's necessarily back, that it's in a great spot, anything like that. Obviously, it's a very, very volatile stock that's going to continue to go up and down, but it really does just seem like things move very, very fast. And like this guy says, this is absolute silliness. It moved up 30 cents after having lost 50%, and y'all act like it's the second coming of Christ. That's kind of where I'm at this point. Yes, this is a very, very good day for Prog investors. Yes, they're up 15%. Yes, if you bought the dip, if you were able to buy at like $2 or $2.20 or something like that, you're feeling very, very good, especially depending on what your cost basis is, depending on how many shares you were able to get or whatever. But there is still people who are down an insane amount of money on Prog. There is still massive, losses in the market with this stock. And I don't think that one single up 15% day, where we're already kind of giving up some of those gains. We kind of peaked out at 280 and right now we're sitting at 270. It's not time to celebrate yet. The rest of this week will be very, very telling about what the short-term future has in store for Prog. And all of this anyway, all the short squeeze talk or all this, looking at the charts in the 5 days or the month or whatever, this is all very, very short term. If you are a long-term believer in Prog, probably none of this matters whether you're getting shares at $1, $2, $3. If you think this is going to be a $5, $8, $10, $15 stock later on down the road, it doesn't really matter to you too much. But people who are trading this, intraday or intra-week or intra-month, these price fluctuations of losing 23% in a single month, even if you're gaining 15% in a single day, can still be very, very meaningful. And especially people, who are getting into margin trading, people who are leveraged, people who are trading, options on this stuff. It can be a very, very scary time. But I do think it is a good sign that we are seeing people talking about Prog again. We are seeing people posting about Prog again. Prog, Frog jumping again together strong. There are actually some posts. There is actually some social media action surrounding this stock. It is showing some signs of life. So if you are a believer, if you are part of the Prog community, I think that is a good sign and something to be excited about. Again, the war's not over yet by any means. This is just a single battle, and being up 15% a day, that is very, very impressive. And this is an absolute win, and some people are making money, and that's great to see. I want to see people making money at the end of the day. I'm not here to, wish bad upon anyone or any stock or company or whatever. But this thing does definitely still have a long way to go. And if you want to talk about, beating the shorts or making a bunch of money or really seeing this play out, I don't think, 270, down 30% a month is necessarily the time to be calling it too big of a victory just yet, but we'll have to wait and see. Either way, the Prog story is getting interesting once again. Prog is showing some signs of life, and I think that's pretty cool. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about PROG. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, save today and all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!